Alright guys, Papa Pepper here once again, more of 50 Days to Understand the End Times More Accurately. Today we're doing day 28, Dark Sun and Blood Moon, Part 1. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. Joel chapter 2, verse 31. Before the day of the Lord an incredible sign will be given. The sun will become dark, and the moon will appear as blood first. The day of the Lord will only be able to begin after this event occurs. Peter reiterated this fact when he spoke to the men of Judea and those who dwelt at Jerusalem on the day of Pentecost. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before that great and notable day of the Lord come. Acts chapter 2, verse 20. This sign is a mandatory prerequisite that must be met prior to the beginning of the day of the Lord. Not only is it recorded in God's pure word, it is also established by the testimony of two witnesses, Joel and Peter. To the best of my knowledge, the following are the only options we actually have of this pre-Day of the Lord occurrence actually being recorded in Scripture. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. But in those days, after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. Mark chapter 13, verse 24. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. Upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, and the seas and waves roaring. Luke chapter 21, verse 25. And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as a sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Revelation chapter 6, verses 12 and 13. And the fourth angel sounded, and a third part of the sun was smitten, and a third part of the moon, and a third part of the stars, so as the third part of them were darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. Revelation chapter 8, verse 12. Pre-tribulational understanding categorizes all five of these other passages as occurring within the tribulation. They generally believe that the day of the Lord to be synonymous with the tribulation, or as a time that includes the tribulation. Therefore, to a pre-tribulationalist, none of these five events mentioned can be of a dark sun and moon can be the event prophesied by Joel and confirmed by Peter, since the event they speak of will occur before the day of the Lord. Point number one, we are told by both Joel and Peter that before the day of the Lord comes, the sun will be darkened and the moon bloodied. Point number two, there are five potential passages that speak of this event recorded within the New Testament. Point number three, in pre-tribulational thinking, all of these passages would take place within the tribulation. We'll build on this foundation tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining me once again. Papa out.